Right black at you, right black at you, right black at you. This is the Future Proud of For Real TV, and of course I'm your host Raheem Dream, better known as Top Cat. Give me a second here. I'm trying to do something with my screen here. Uh, okay. All right, I think I'm gonna roll with that. All right, as I said, this is the Future Proud of For Real TV, and of course I'm your host. I misspelled some "you" up there. I'll correct that after the live is over. But it's do you know your numbers? Do you know your numbers? Um, we're gonna get the co-host in the building in a minute here because this is her topic, and she'll be able to break it down for you. Okay, so let's give people time to come into the building, and I'm gonna get the co-host in the building. So I'm about to mute myself for 1 second here. Okay, we're gonna wait for the co-host to get into the building, but I want to give a shout out to everybody on YouTube, everybody on the Facebook, everybody on the Twitter. Hope you had a good, prosperous day, and I hope you're fine. I hope your families are fine, and it's a great day. It's a great day to be alive. You know what I'm saying? Whatever name you want to put on it, God, whoever, whatever name you want to put on it, give you this day. But it's on you what you do with it. It's on you what you do with it. Okay? So you can put whatever name on it that you feel gave it to you. But it's on you what you do with it. Okay? That's what it comes down to. It comes down to what you do with that day. Okay? Um, As I said, this is the Future Proud of For Real TV, right black at you. If it's your first time coming to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button, tap that little bell, and of course, hit that thumbs up for me. Smash the thumbs up, smash the thumbs up. Share, subscribe, and share. Share, subscribe, and share again. Share, subscribe, and share again. And if you want to be a part of the team, the For Real team, that we're putting things together. Okay, you see it going across the bottom of the screen if you want to be a part of the For Real team. Okay, we putting some things together. Okay, we just ain't on here just kicking the bobo. We're really putting some things together. Okay, it's going to be seen when it's time. Because we're working on things. You know, planning. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And that's what we're doing. We're planning. And as I said, I hope everybody had a great day today. Good, prosperous day. I'm waiting on the co-host to come in. I'm waiting on the co-host. I don't see the co-host. Calling on the co-host. Calling on the co-host. I'll got my brother Mike in the building. Mike said, glad you had a strong day, my brother. Well, you know me, brother. I'm gonna have a strong day every day. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna go at it that way. I'm gonna start strong and I'm gonna finish strong. See, I'm a firm believer in you finish the same way you start. I'm a firm believer in that. You finish the same way you start. You know? But how are you today, my good brother? And I know you had a good strong start and finish, because I know you. I know you. Because that's what we do. That's what we do. And at the end of this here, Mike, we're gonna get with you because we got some things we need to talk about off the air tonight. So as soon as we go off air, I'll be giving you a call, my good brother. Let me send this invite again. Maybe the co-host is having a problem getting in. I'm gonna send this invite out again to him. I know I got the right email. Yeah, that's the right email. That's the right email. Okay, Mike said I had a strong day as well. And okay. Yeah, I know, my brother. Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do. You know, that's what we do. See, that's what separates the best from the rest. You dig what I'm saying? Not saying that you know what I'm saying we better than anybody. I'm not saying we're better than anybody. You understand what I'm saying? When I say what separates the best from the rest is the ones that put the hard work in. It's gonna separate. It's like the cream come to the top. It's just simple as that. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody being better than nobody. It comes down to how much work you put in and the quality of the work. You understand? It's the quality of the work that separates you. It's the quality of the work. It's the quality of the work. That's what separates. You understand what I'm saying? It ain't got nothing to do with nobody being no better than nobody else. Because I know how our people think. That's the first thing that comes to their mind. Okay, I think the co-host is here. We was wondering where you was at. I said, well, I don't know. I know I sent it to the right email.
Can you hear me? Because
yes.
I can't see you yet.
There you go. You're going to have to do whatever you did yesterday.
Well, look like today is not doing that. But anyways,
you're going to need to see, if you want to see your screen, you're going to need to see.
I don't know about that. Can you see me?
I can see you.
Okay, good.
We can see you.
Okay, good.
But you're going to need to see the screen. You got to be able to see us. You got to be able to see me. Can you see me?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, so you good then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Great.
Okay, I was just letting everybody know I did misspell you up there, but I corrected at the end of the what's in that, because it was kind of late, so I was rushing trying to get it up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm going to give you a full screen, and you can tell everybody what your topic is about, and I'm going to mute myself.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Marietta Elliott, and I'm your co-host tonight. And the topic is, do you know your numbers? And I am referencing high blood pressure. A lot of us don't even go to the doctors. We don't have any idea what's really going on with us medically. And that seems to be a big thing with the Black race. I myself, about 8 years ago, I woke up and I had a swollen ankle on the right side. And being in the medical world, I knew that was not a good sign. It was actually a very bad sign. So I ended up going to urgent care, and then urgent care took my blood pressure, and it ended up being 198/100, which was pretty alarming. So they sent me across the street to Ahuja to have a full workup because they felt like I was in serious condition. So I goes over to Ahuja. They take all this blood work. They do a chest x-ray. They did an EKG. And they came back in the room and they said to me, You know, medically on the inside, you're in mint condition. But whatever is stressing you out is going to take your life. And I was going through some things at that time, and I knew exactly what was going on. And they said to me, we're going to give you a water pill and we're going to send you home, but you need to follow up with your own doctor. And I had not had a doctor since I probably was 21. And because most of the time I'm in perfect shape, nothing ever bothers me. In fact, you know, with this blood pressure being as high as it was, they said that I was a walking time bomb. I would have never known it because I had no signs or symptoms. But anyway, long story short, I did follow up with the doctor, and he actually said to me, well, if you lost 5 pounds, that would make a very big difference on your blood pressure. So, of course, I thought 5 pounds, like that's just like nothing. And I said to my doctor, I have to do better than that. Anyway, long story short, I ended up losing 50 pounds and I've maintained that for like 8 years. But anyways, you know, at that time, I thought I was managing my stress. And stress is the number one killer for the Black people. I mean, it's just, you know, it elevates your blood pressure, strokes, you know, all kind of things happen. Heart disease with high blood pressure that is going untreated. And we have a lot of people who have been diagnosed with high blood pressure and refuse to take their medicine, particularly men, because, you know, it definitely, in a lot of ways, affects their sex drive. So that's very important to a lot of men. And I absolutely understand that, but I feel like there's nothing more important than, you know, having a healthy lifestyle. I thought about myself having a stroke. I always said, well, you know, if I have a stroke and I die, great. What's the big deal? But if I have a stroke and I'm maimed behind it, that was my fear, is to be able to still live through a severe stroke and be codependent on so many people. So I had to do something about that. I was so desperate, and I'm really in the state now where I'm very conscious about a lot of things that I do. I try to exercise, I go to the gym, I have a personal trainer. But anyways, what this is really all about is recognizing your own need in reference to taking better care of ourselves. Because Black people, we don't do it. We have all kinds of reasons why we don't eat right, why we don't exercise. And, you know, it's not as costly as people actually think that it is. It's also about, you know, just taking a walk, because that's what my doctor said to me. I want you to take a 20-minute walk every day. And, you know, when I left there, I said to him, you know, I'm going to be the best patient you ever had. And I know he thought to himself, yeah, they all say that until they end up in the hospital, because it's going to tell on you sooner or later. So anyways, I got my blood pressure under control, like it's like 120/70. And I'm doing really good with that. But one thing that I do realize that, you know, I was afraid. And you know what? When you're afraid, you will make changes. And, you know, everybody has to meet their fear factor sometimes. And there are some people that are just going to go out there and do the right thing. And a lot of times we start off that way and we end up doing something entirely different. So tonight I want to kind of just share my story. And I told my doc that I was going to be the best patient he'd ever had. And after all these years, whenever he looks on the roster and see that I'm coming, it actually brings joy to his heart, knowing that I've worked very hard to keep myself together. He always says to me, you know, you are so determined and you are actually holding on to the fountain of youth. And that makes him very happy to know that I'm really trying very, very hard. So for those out there who don't know their numbers, please take a time out to go and get your blood pressure checked. Please. You know, I practically can beg for that to happen because it is very important. And it has been our downfall. And I want to see us get conscious about our health. I definitely do. So you guys, if you're out there, if you have high blood pressure, you know where I'm at. And now that I've gotten my blood pressure under control, I have a lot of people saying to me, well, you know what? You're fine now. You don't have to take your medicine anymore. And I always look at people and say, you know, well, don't look like you went to medical school. And men and women, we can't take our health lightly. We can't keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And I'm talking to everybody. I could even do better. I could actually do better. And my goal is to do better. But for 8 years, I've maintained, and that's bigger than anything else for me. So if you're out there, I'd like to hear from anybody who has experienced high blood pressure, or you have someone in your life who have had a stroke. I've lost people that I love dearly behind strokes. And I will tell this story right quick. I had another girlfriend who had a master's degree. She had everything going for herself, but she got on drugs. She got on drugs. And one day she actually was out getting high. She was on crack. And they thought, the people that she was with, they thought she had OD'd. And in actuality, she had had a massive stroke. So they put her in the water thinking that would bring her back. And then that didn't work. So they actually physically took her and laid her on the ground behind the gas station on 116th and Shaker Boulevard and just left her there in the dead of the winter. And someone was buying gas and came in and told the attendants, you know, you have a woman laying on the ground behind the gas station. So, of course, they called the paramedics. She was rushed to the hospital. They had to do emergency surgery because she had such a bleed on her brain. And they finally got a hold to her husband, and they said, well, you know, if she makes it through this, she's going to be a vegetable. And that was devastating. I mean, right to this day, it still breaks my heart. When I go through that area, it still breaks my heart to know that she had so much going for herself. And she always said to me, I know how far to go. I know how far to go. And God in heaven knows. I wanted to believe that. Because, you know, when you're out there doing what you're doing for as many years as you have done it, and you've been fine, you kind of think, well, maybe they do know what they're talking about. So anyways, if you know somebody out there that has had a stroke, or you've lost somebody behind high blood pressure, I want to hear from you. And even if you have high blood pressure, I want to hear and know if you're managing yourself, or you have been managed, because that's another thing that's been a problem, is trying to get on the appropriate medication to manage your blood pressure. So if you do some changes in your lifestyle, it won't be hard to manage it. You know, it'll be a piece of cake. So yeah, let's hear from my audience. I hope someone tunes in tonight and shares their story. It's a lifetime commitment, and we have to be willing to be committed to our own lives, because our families are there. They depend on us as well. And if we're not taking care of ourselves, you know, you send that message to your family, well, it's not really necessary. We're going to get through this like she did. But it's not always like that. You know, we don't all have the same fate. That's another interesting piece about high blood pressure, is we don't have the same fate. Some people learn about high blood pressure the day they have a stroke. They ignore the signs and the symptoms. So if you're out there, let's tune in tonight. If you can't come in and comment, take a look at your own self, your family members. And if you feel like there's someone in your family or a friend that needs to get to the doctors to get their blood pressure checked, go to urgent care. Go to urgent care. It's that simple. That way you'll have a baseline as to where you are, and they'll point you in the right direction. We have to learn to take better care of ourselves. We absolutely do. Okay, Top.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So how was your day today before you roll into
Right. I had it. Yeah. Well, you know me. I start strong and I finish strong.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, you're supposed to finish the same way you start.
Right.
You know, that's, remember, like I said the other day, that's why I don't have weekends.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I finish the same way I start. Start. You know, you're supposed to finish the same way you start. You finish the same way you start. So I can remember when I was doing hair. Now I remember Mr. Black told me one time. He said, look here. He said, young man, your last hairdo supposed to look just as good as the first one did.
Okay. Right.
He said the last hairdo of the day supposed to look just as good as the first one did. In other words, he was saying you got to finish strong.
Right.
Just because you tired, the customer ain't got nothing to do with that.
Right.
You got the same amount of money as the first one did.
Yes.
Or more. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And you know, some kind of things I never forgot. You dig what I'm saying? But you finish the same way you start.
Right.
You know, that's just some stuff we used to say in the streets. You dig what I'm saying? You know, finish the same way you start. You know, I mean, in that instance in the streets though was once you got knocked, you understand what I'm saying? You supposed to stand strong. Swallow whatever you got coming, swallow it. You know, swallow it.
Okay.
Go do your bit. You don't know you don't know nobody. You dig what I'm saying? So that's you finish. You started like that, so you're supposed to finish like that. Okay, but I'm just saying, it's just you finish the same way you start. Okay, Mike in the house.
Hello, Mike.
Yep, there you go. What Mike's saying?
Okay, hey Queen, this is a great topic. Just yesterday, I saw several young people struggling to walk, dragging one leg, assuming they had had a stroke. Oh my God, yes. Possibly.
Well, see, this is one thing they not understanding, and this is the government scheme. It's the promoting of this new marijuana stuff, because it ain't even marijuana. I don't even know what you call that stuff, because it don't come out the ground.
I swear, it's horrible.
No, serious. It don't come out the ground.
It's horrible.
Yeah, it don't even come out the ground. You know what I'm saying? See, well, back when we was younger, the weed was grown out the ground.
Yes, it was.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We used to grow it ourselves. And then in the summertime, we used to take aluminum foil and put it on top of the garage so it'd be closer to the sun and put it up there so it'd dry out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't have lamps and all
exactly.
that.
Well, you had an idea, didn't you?
Yeah. So, aluminum foil going to get hot too because of the sun. You understand what I'm saying? And the reflection of it will help dry the leaves out. Homegrown. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was really homegrown. Now this stuff here is grown with is made with tubes of water and stuff they putting in the water that go in the weed and
the hydro.
But they hydro. You don't know what they got stuff out there called Skittles.
No, what I'm saying is like it's the place in which they grow it is
the weed is called hydro too.
Oh well,
that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Well, you got to be kidding me.
Nah, the weed is called hydro.
And they putting all this poison in their body.
Yeah, they got weed they call it Skittles because it got a whole bunch of different little colors in it. Because one day my son was over here and he had the music playing, and they were saying something about some Skittles, driving down the street doing Skittles or something. So I asked my grandson, I said, they rapping about Skittles. So, because I'm like, that's kind of stupid, you rap about Skittles. I said, but I don't know what y'all do these days. And my grandson, he started laughing, and my son started laughing. They say, Daddy, that ain't talking about Skittles. I said, well, what are you talking about? Yeah. Some kind of, marijuana. It's got different colors on it, so they call it Skittles.
Dear God, you got to be.
But they got all kind of stuff out here now. They got one called On the Couch or In the Couch.
Wait a minute now, come on.
It make you smoke, and once you sit down on the couch, you can't get up.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they call it In the Couch.
Oh, dear God, you got to be kidding me.
No, they was telling me about it in the barbershop.
Well, it sounds dangerous.
So they got different kinds. They got in the couch. In the couch make you just laid back and lazy and you don't do nothing.
That's paralyzed.
They're supposed to have. Then they're supposed to have some other kind that supposed to be like make you want to move around and dance and everything or something. I don't know, some other kind of name on that one. But all of them got different names because they ban them out of the dispensaries, which is government ran.
Mm-hmm.
It's the estrogen. See, the estrogen, our young men is smoking this marijuana where the government is putting this estrogen in it. Do you know what estrogen do to the male?
Mm-hmm.
It makes him feminine.
Mm-hmm.
It's the estrogen.
Yeah.
That's in a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why when the women smoke it, they get masculine.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, you gotta look it up. Look it up. Look it up. It makes the men feminine and it makes the women masculine.
Oh, how sad is that?
I mean, it's got to be something. Look how many young girls you got walking around here, and I don't know what they are. I stop. I just say, "How are you?" Because you don't know who, and what you're talking to.
I know. I've seen it.
Because I didn't did it like, and you know what I'm saying, young man this and young man that, and be like, I'm a girl. And now I feel messed up. You understand? I don't feel messed up, but you understand what I'm saying? I feel, oh, my fault.
You feel a little embarrassed.
Yeah, okay, baby. But she dressed like a boy.
Yeah, you feel a little embarrassed.
She got a do-rag on with a cap tilted and pants sagging. How you supposed to know?
You're not gonna know. Yeah.
How you supposed to know?
No, I know. I mean, that's, back in the day when we were coming up,
you know who
they had their hair cut.
That's right.
Yeah, there was no discrepancy if that was a man or a woman.
But even if we did wear braids, because we wore braids back then, but we wore masculine though.
Exactly, right. Straight
you understand?
Back. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was masculine. Everything about us was masculine.
Right.
When I grew up, you wanted to be like so and so, because the way he walked, the way he talked.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The way he wore his hat on his head, because it was masculinity.
Right. We don't have that anymore.
It was masculinity.
Unfortunate. Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? It was masculinity, man.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to be like the guy coming down the street driving the big Cadillac. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He get out, he clean as I don't know what. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, look at that.
Looking like a real man.
Right. You understand what I'm saying? He ain't get out the car switching.
No.
Well, showing his booty.
Oh, no. No.
Jaws dirty.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, you need to pull them up. School, you think you're talking to? My man, you need to pull them up. They're dirty. You need to go home and switch. And somebody gonna hook you up out here talking to him like that. I said, young man, I'm looking out for you though. See somebody else, they letting you walk around like that and ain't telling you. And maybe you don't know they dirty. But you can see, he had them going so long, you can see with the line that's clean from his slacks. You understand?
Yeah.
So when he moves, it's going like this here, and you can see the dirty. I just mean
so
the dirty.
Sad, very sad.
Young man.
Mm-hmm.
I said, young man, I'm not trying to embarrass you, and I didn't say it loud to you. I called you over here.
Right. That's sad. Very sad.
I said, now them guys, them supposed to be your buddies or whatever, man, they supposed to let you know that. Or is theirs dirty too, though? I had to think about that when I pulled off.
Wow.
I said, maybe theirs dirty too.
Well, hygiene is not a big deal anymore. People don't really care how they look, how they're presenting themselves. And I've had a lot of conversation about that very thing, is that we are not paying attention to the way we look and carry ourselves. It's just, I don't know
Man, I
why
can't say nothing. You know what? But see, I
we
done
have
seen,
adopted that.
man, listen. I seen older women. This woman she probably was well in her 60s.
Mm.
She had on one of them shower caps, whatever y'all call them. I call them shower caps.
Mhm.
She had on one of them with some beat up house shoes on.
Oops. Beat up house shoes.
I mean beat up.
It's out in public.
Yeah. In the store. In the store. In the
Jeez.
store. Had like a nightgown on.
What?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like a nightgown, but then with a, with the thin robe on, and talking loud and talking crazy with the other girl. And they buying alcohol. They buying alcohol and junk food.
Mm.
And they talking loud and everything else.
Well, sound
And
like a
I'm
little
looking,
mental illness.
I'm looking like, whew. And then you know what? This is what you. It's back to that live I had when I said, "Is these young men gonna let the women have anything?" Because if you pay attention, now the young boys is out here wearing them things on their heads too.
Oh, I have not seen that one.
I have. See, that's because you don't be the places I be in. You don't be in the side of town, on the sides of towns that I be on. You have to remember.
Right.
You have to remember. Okay, when I'm out hustling only get Saturdays now, pretty much. But you have to remember how much ground I cover.
Right.
I'm on the east side, southeast side, west side. So I go through all the hoods. See, most people don't. I might see more than one day than y'all see in 3 years.
Yeah, I believe that. I totally believe that. Yes, I believe it.
You have to remember, I'm hitting these hoods 4 or 5 times in one day, if not more. I'm hitting the hoods, and then remember, I'm out in the suburbs too, the so-called suburbs, so-called, like I said. Because you see the same thing out there too.
I know, yeah, I know.
You dig what I'm saying? You know what can you say? But I'm just saying, now I see these young men with the things on. And I seen the older guy with one on too. In the store, down on 93rd, where was we at? One of them stores down, I was down there talking to somebody. Somebody pulled over to holler at somebody. Wasn't that he was in front of the store. And he get out the car going into the store. He got on the lady thing. And I look at him, but I'm like,
come on now.
Man, you get okay. You want your information up? You ready for your information? You want me to put your information up? You ready to read your information?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. I'm hoping that everything is going to be nice and clear.
Well,
we'll see.
I don't see why it wouldn't be.
Well, the other day we had so much problem with the computer.
No, we didn't. The last time we put something up, it was up clear. And when I went back to
so let's see how this goes. Okay, the link between structural racism, high blood pressure, and Black people's health. All right.
Tell me when to move.
You can move. Yeah, see, this is not that clear. Let me see. What if I put on my glasses? It's very fuzzy over here. And I don't know if it's because you have made it bigger. I don't know. But yeah, it's not even, it's not,
See. Is it too big, is what you're saying?
I don't know, because it's fuzzy. Like, even with my glasses on, it's still very fuzzy. Yeah, that's not that. Okay, yeah, that's good. That's
okay, see, now that's big. What do you mean? I'm making it bigger.
Okay, but it's clear now. So I don't need my glasses. Can we? No, we can leave it like that.
You can leave it like that?
Yeah, that's perfect. What did you do?
I just made it bigger.
Okay, so here, high blood pressure and structural racism. What do we have in common? Researchers say they are two of the biggest factors responsible for the gap in poor heart and brain health between Blacks and white adults in the United States. And they are inextricably linked. Tongue twister. Studies show high blood pressures also cause hypertension, affect Black adults, particularly women, early and more dramatically than their white peers. By age 55, research shows three of four Black adults have already developed the conditions compared to about half of the white men and 40% of the white women. Untreated high blood pressure can lead to a range of disabling and potentially fatal chronic illness, including heart disease, stroke, dementia, kidney disease, sexual dysfunction, and loss of vision. Behind these elevated risks, researchers say, are the complex web of negative influences stemming from the multi-generation impact of structural racism. So those few paragraphs alone were very alarming because, they did the comparative. They're very clear about. Where are you going?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Just keep talking.
Oh, okay. Very clear about the difference between Blacks and whites and high blood pressure, which they're admitting that they do acknowledge this, but it's about what are they going to do to change the situation?
Nothing, because it's on you to change your own condition.
Well, the thing is that, we have to make ourselves readily available to do what we need to do to take care of ourselves.
That's what I just said. It's on you.
Yeah, but they're talking about putting up more, and they have. I've noticed there's a lot more clinics in the area for people to go in, for people who probably don't have insurance, and stuff is prorated, so that way they can be seen by a doctor. So Sandra Jackson, a research investigator, another tongue twister, epidemiologist with the National Institute of Environmental Health Services, considers structural racism as a totality of ways in which society fosters racial discrimination through mutually reinforced systems of housing, education, and employment, wages, benefits, credit, media, health care, and criminal justice. These patterns are practices in turn reinforce discriminatory beliefs, value the made in distribution. Wow.
Slow
That's
down,
not the word.
Take your time.
Health,
Take your time.
promoting empowerment resources, she says. That is, they create the physical and social environment that makes it easier for white families to grow up healthy and harder for Black families to do so. For example, decades of discriminatory lending called, redlining has kept Black families integrated in neighborhoods with fewer resources and greater chronic exposure to environmental hazards such as unclean drinking water and noise and air pollution, Jackson said. That's pretty interesting that they're talking about something as simple as noise pollution, which is interesting, and yeah, probably people who live in an industrial area where there is a lot of trains crossing and airplanes on the west side flying over the homes.
Well, you know what? That's why in every city you go in, you always find cheaper property around airports.
Yep.
In every city you go in.
Right.
That's why the west side, you can get a nice home, but it'll be cheaper. But it cuts by the airport.
Right. So these neighborhoods also tend to lack quality healthcare facilities and providers, grocery stores that sell healthy and affordable food, or open spaces where adults can exercise and children can play. She said, discriminatory employment and education systems result in higher levels of poverty that create financial strain, housing and food insecurity, strained relationships, and less access to good health insurance. Boy, that said a mouthful right there. Because, yes, when we think about grocery stores and, able to get, the exercise and places for our children to play. I mean, we used to have playgrounds.
Sure did.
We used to have playgrounds, and we lived to go to the playground. And when you think about safe, most people don't want their children just out in the neighborhood roaming around because of all the criminal activities that go on, the drive-by shootings. So you're more likely to keep your child in the house to keep them safe. And that's another thing that I found that horrible when I thought about how many playgrounds we had when we were children. And we could even go to the schools and run on the track. And it was never anything questioned about that. We used to run up and down the bleachers and just even walking to the Metro Park. It was quite a distance, but those are the things that kept us strong and kept us healthy. And we were all very slim. We didn't drive to the corner store. We had to walk to the corner store. Now, as adults, people drive to the corner store. So it really is a crying shame that, they know this and they're not doing anything about it. They're nickel and diming, putting things in place here and there, even health insurance. As a single woman, it costs me $400 a month to have health insurance. And for a lot of people, they can't afford that. But I pay for insurance that covers X, Y, and Z, not necessarily, maternity care, that sort of stuff. I'm beyond all that kind of stuff. But anyway, and I don't have really any pre-existing health issues. But the people who do have pre-existing, they make them pay a lot of money out of their own pockets if they're not working for a company that will help out with health insurance. You're in trouble. You are absolutely in trouble. And for a long time, before I had this episode with high blood pressure, I always went to the doctors and I got prorated. So it would cost me $80 every time I went to see my doctor, which, of course, that was cost effective for me. But a lot of people can't even pay that $80 to see a doctor. So those are the things that we have to think about in reference to trying to make sure we can get ourselves in a space where we can at least afford health insurance, or we can at least go and be prorated. Interestingly enough, I drive way on the west side of town to get a better deal with quality of food, the variety of food, the food that is fresh, coming in practically daily. When we're in the neighborhood, we're getting, you can just do a comparative as to fresh vegetables in one store and fresh vegetables in another store. And a lot of times in those other stores, if you're not going to cook that stuff that day, it's over with. It's going to rot in your refrigerator. So that's something that we definitely have to think about, and even the housing part of it. We don't live in neighborhoods where we have what we need. And if there's no transportation, we will fall between the cracks and deal with our health the only way we can afford to deal with it, and which is a lot of times as needed. And health is something that has to be mastered every day. It is not a day that you lay off with your health, because laying off with your health will make you sicker than what you really have to be. So I'm hoping that, somebody is going to tune in and even just give us some information on where they go to eat healthier, if it's someplace within the neighborhood. I'd like to know about that store. Okay, so all of this, along with daily indignities of racial discrimination, increases stress. That in turn may associate with increased blood pressure, says Augustine Kane, an investigator of Brown University School of Public Health in Rhode Island. All these factors set up the perfect storm for disease. Wow, the perfect storm for disease. And believe me, it is worded the right way, because, like they say, when you have high blood pressure, it leads to heart disease, it leads to stroke, and it also leads to diabetes. That's another thing that's high on the list for the African American people, is diabetes. And diabetes is something that we really can take charge of. We don't have to be diabetic. In a lot of different areas we can change to keep our sugar levels under control, but and until we educate ourselves in reference to carbs and sugars, and eating more fruits and vegetables, we're going to end up being diabetic as we age, and weight definitely will bring on diabetes, especially weight around the middle. For some odd reason, weight around the middle seems to be more hard on your body than for a female to have, a bigger breast and better hips, which is not the same as having everything in the middle, because that brings on all kinds of diseases, because our organs absolutely are being smothered by that extra layer of fat. Our organs can't stretch out and function because they are surrounded by extra layers of fat, and that cuts down on the oxygen flow, the blood level being able to flow through our bodies like it needs to get through these small veins and these arteries. Those are the things we have to think about, and we all can do something with our bodies. We have to, in reference to high blood pressure, heart disease, and diabetes. So overall, Black men and women report higher levels of stress than their white counterparts, but studies show Black women who experience the compounding effects of both race and gender discrimination, also with the chronic stress of having to work harder to overcome this dual bias. Oh my God. Pay for partial high price with their health starting in an early life. Black women have a shorter life expectancy than white women, and due in part due to higher rates of heart disease. So that within itself, we have conversation about Black women not having, the support of that man to help her out. She's got to go out and she's got to make her own money to take care of her children, her household. And it's a job, it's a hell of a job to have to do that, and then also be in a relationship that is also taxing, will add to your health. And that's why I've said, openly, that I've had my hell. I've had my hell. And I won't ever have that hell again. And that's why I always try to encourage women that we don't have to deal with things that are going to stress us out. We don't have to deal with bad relationships. We don't have to deal with the unnecessary things that's going to take a toll on our bodies. And I mean from, our mind, body, and our soul. But the physical wellness is so important. And that is the thing that I want to, get across to people, is that, we don't have to be sick women. We don't have to be sick men. Our bodies are made to heal. Our bodies are made to make adjustments where they're needed to be in a space where they can repair themselves. Even getting enough sleep at night has a lot to do with your metabolism. It also has a lot to do with balancing out your stress. And when you rest, you have a level head, you can make better decisions. And we want our bodies to be able to heal at night. And that's one thing that, when you go to bed at night, you need to go to bed free. And I mean free from whatever happened that day. It's hard to let go of that. And I myself have found myself listening to some meditation music because of the stress levels that I have been upon. And I'm telling you, listening to meditation music, I am asleep within 3 minutes and I am sleeping soundly. And when I wake up in the morning, I always says, "Oh, I had a good night's sleep." And that's important. And I don't know how many people have a great night's sleep, but you better believe it's hard to get a great night's sleep 7 days a week. You may get one 2 or 3 times out the week, but 7 days a week is not enough. I mean, 7 days a week is enough to make you be in the right space of healing, but 1 day out of the week, 2 days out of the month, you're destroying yourself. Slowly but surely, the lack of rest will kill you, will shorten your life. They've done studies on rats, and they've had, this is kind of like a little bit off the beaten path, but they were doing an example of on rats. If they let one rat rest, it didn't let the other rat rest. The one that wasn't rested died very soon. And the other one continued to live a long, strong, healthy life because he was able to rest. So that's the same thing with human beings. If you're not resting and getting those 8 hours that you need 7 days a week, 365 days out a year, you're chipping away with your ability to recover. Your ability to recover. Okay, so Kang led the study that found Black women with high blood pressure who experienced high levels of stress were substantially less likely to take medication or practice blood pressure lowering behaviors such as exercise or eat a healthy diet. Wow, less likely to take medication. And that is something that, I said earlier in the conversation that, people won't take their medication. And, that is something that I don't understand, why you're willing to risk your health, risk having a stroke, because strokes come on during the day. They come on while you're driving a car. They come on in your sleep. I know people who have had strokes in their sleep and were pronounced dead when they were discovered. And the brother kept saying, "No, no, no, my brother's not dead. He's not dead." And that forced the people in emergency to look a little bit deeper. And they did. And they found that he was still alive. And this was another person that they said if he makes it, he's going to be nothing but a vegetable. He won't remember. He won't know anybody. He'll just be there. And that was devastating news for me because he was somebody that I had known for life. Long story short, I invested in my friend. I made a point to make sure I was there with my friend day in and day out. I was there feeding him. I was there, doing all of his personal care and talking to him and just encouraging him to get through this. Well, he did. And if you saw him on the street, you would never, ever know this person had a stroke. You would never, ever know this person had a stroke. But the same thing that he was doing before he got into that space, he started doing the same thing all over again. So, that's another thing that I have found with our race of people. We will get out of the woods and we will go right back into the same situation and do all the things that got us to the point of having that stroke or that heart attack. And we're big risky people. We take chances. And then that's something that I am hoping, after kind of sharing the story about my life, and the fact that I was not willing to take that chance, I took care of myself. And there are a lot of people out here that do take care of themselves. But there is also that flip side of, now that I'm better, I can go back to the way I like living, which is a sad thing. So lifestyle factors are incredibly important to manage blood pressure, he said. There are social and environmental factors that present and add barriers to diets, physical activities, which encounter a lot of health disparities we see today. Overcoming these barriers has proven challenging, but not always unsurmountable. For example, a program targeting high blood pressure at Kaiser Permanente in California eliminated differences in control among Black and white adults. The program used electronics, health records to track blood pressure increasing, doctor-patient managing outside of the office visits, and lowering the price of blood pressure medication to make it more affordable and accessible. Interesting, before I had insurance and I was getting my prescription filled, my medicine was like practically almost $200. And the pharmacy turned me on to GoodRx. And that same medication came down to like $10. And I was really astonished at the fact that, there are ways to get medication, but people do not educate. And this pharmacist was kind enough to say to me, you need to investigate that. Now, when I changed with GoodRx, I had to change pharmacies because CVS did not honor GoodRx. So I had to move over to Giant Eagles, who did honor GoodRx. But I had no idea, but when I got involved with the process, I learned that things are possible as far as paying for your medication, as far as getting to the doctors, affording health care. So I don't know, this is AN led to the study showing disparities in blood pressure among Black and white medical advantage enrollees persisted in every region across the nation except for the West, where the Kaiser Health Plan has eliminated these differences. His research also shows Black adults were disproportionately enrolled in low-performing health plans nationwide. Okay, so that person really did care enough to change the disparities. Okay, we cannot rely just on efforts of individuals and doctors to say you need well-functioning healthcare delivery service. Asking people to improve their diet when they don't have access to healthy food, to exercise when they don't have access to a safe, affordable space, to take blood pressure medications when they can't afford them. Wow, that's really interesting. While also ensure access to quality universal health care. We never succeeded to eliminating health another tongue twister, inequities, says Dr. Monica Sanford, founder and co-director of Cornell Center of Healthcare Equality, New York City. She also is the chief of general internal medicines at Weill Cornell Medical College. We cannot leave it up to individuals. It's not their fault. The system is set up to fail them. The system is not fair, equal, or equitable. Wow. I think that's the end of it, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So we definitely have to think about, I can sit back now. Right. Okay, we definitely got to think about everything that was put out there.
Okay, well, you got a lot of things here to read.
Yeah.
Okay.
Comments?
Here you go. I'm starting for you now.
Okay, Ron says hello, everyone. Hi, Ron. Okay, my sister Brenda. Good evening. Looking good in the blue. Well, thank you. Okay, great topic, she says. Okay, Mike, when I listen to the financial advisor on how to be wealthy and stay healthy, one of the things they speak about is invest in your health first. Yes.
Because health is wealth.
Yes.
Don't ever forget it. Health is wealth.
Right.
I don't know who exactly it was, but it was some old Jew boy. Let me take that back. Some old small hats. I don't want them to get on me. A small hat that had billions of dollars. He was sick and dying. I forget what he needed. I don't know, was a heart. He needed something. And he said he would offer $1 billion for whatever he needed.
Right.
And he said it's because he did not take care of himself. His mind was focused strictly on, getting money. And he said, I did not take care of myself. He said he eat halal because, that's what they do. He said, but no exercising. And at the end of his life, he offered $1 billion. I forget what he needed, but he didn't get it. He ended up dying. Okay. Be nice in the house.
All right. Hi. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, she must be back in town. She had been out of town.
Okay, I remember her on once before.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the one that she sent you the email.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I hear LeBron James spend $1 million a year on his body with physical trainers and nutritionists. Yes. And you know what? And seeing that's the flip side to all of this. If you can afford to do what you need to do, that is not even a conversation. And that's one thing about the people in White House. They don't have to worry about health care. They got a free ride for the rest of their lives and their entire family. And that is one thing, being a caregiver, I am constantly saying to my clients, family members, healthcare is failing us. Black, white, green, and purple. Healthcare is only going to take care of so much. Then after that, you're on your own. And that's something that, when they say healthcare for all, it means healthcare to a point. After that, you're on your own. So it's best that we try to take charge of our health before we got to need this insurance. It's better that way. Take charge of our own lives. Okay, D-Nice says, I grocery shop with local farmers. Okay, on my journey to wellness, I do adequate exercise and cardiovascular training. Oh my goodness, that's nice. I also made an appointment to see a nutritionist so I can become healthier. Wow, that's a beautiful thing. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. D-Nice says, this is good information. Well, thank you. I am so glad you joined in tonight. I appreciate this. Okay, D-Nice says it's good to be an educated patient because some providers try to push medication on you that you may not necessarily need. Knowledge is powerful. That is the God's truth if I ever heard it. We do have to be very careful because if they have you on high blood pressure medicine and you come in that day and it's high, they automatically want to put something else with it. That is very true. Oh, yes. Knowledge is definitely powerful. You have to know yourself. Okay, D-Nice says, okay, you can have all the money, but if you don't have your health, you can't make wealth. Very true. Oh, yes, very true. That's right. That's why I had to stop, and think about my own self. Like, come on now. I'm not trying to let somebody kill me. If anything, I'm going to take a few lives. Keeping myself together. Very important stuff there. Oh yes, very important stuff. I definitely appreciate you guys sharing. I mean, this is what it's all about, you know. The African American people are suffering in alarming rates because they just refuse. They just refuse to take care of themselves. And I, for the like of me, I don't know why, but they just refuse. You know, from the smoking to the drinking, you know, all those things take a toll on our lives, our blood pressure, our heart. I know people at age 23 that died from esophagus cancer from smoking marijuana. 23. So we got to stop self-indulging in the wrong ways. And like she said, you know, she's investing in herself. She's exercising. She's getting to the gym. She's going to see a nutritionist. And that's what's happening. That is what's happening. And we as Black people got to stop eating them chitlins and them hog balls, because all that stuff is poison. All that stuff is poison. Absolutely poison. So yeah, this is good. I'm so glad that people are in. I'm like the worst reader in the whole wide world. But you know what? With this going on, I'm going to become the best reader in the whole wide world. I like this. Okay, Denise says straight facts. Right. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. Yes, that's a beautiful thing. I love this. Yeah, definitely an important thing tonight. And we as Black people, we have to share, you know, we have family members that we need to work with, and we need to encourage. You know, everything is a slow start. And what we got to realize is Rome wasn't built overnight, so to speak. And, you know, even when it comes down to weight loss, no one gained weight overnight. We gained weight over years. Years. And we're not going to lose it overnight. So those are the things that we got to definitely keep in our minds, that we should take one day at a time, because it didn't come overnight. And it's not going to leave overnight. And if it leaves too fast, then now you're also into another area, which is alarming. Okay, so Mike says, don't forget about sugar. I love my sugar.
Sugar is just like dope.
I love my sugar in my coffee.
If you stop eating sugar, it's just like going through withdrawals with dope. Just like going through withdrawals, you know, from dope and coffee and, you know, alcohol. Yeah.
Right, but you know what? Sugar is in the form of carbohydrates too.
Okay, but
pasta. Yeah, pasta.
Yeah, well, I mean, but what kind of pasta? A lot of this pasta ain't no good for you.
What I'm just saying, but that's a form of sugar.
I got what you're saying, but I'm just saying, you know, yeah, a lot of it's not good for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Denise says, I'm taking baby steps. I'm a work in progress. Laugh out loud. Well, that's a beautiful thing. I appreciate that. Baby steps. That's what I say all the time. You know, that's what I had to do.
I need to get back in the gym. I ain't been in the gym. I ain't been doing nothing. Normally, I would do my push-ups at home. I ain't been doing none of that. I got to get back on it, you know. You
know, that's the one thing that, you know, interestingly enough, you know, when it comes down to exercise and getting into that regimen, it's easy to get out.
Yes.
Very easy. But you know what? And now that the weather is, the days are getting longer and the sun is rising up sooner, I'm going to get back into my walk in the morning because it's hard to get it in the evening time. But I'll start walking at 6 a.m. and walk 40 minutes.
Right.
Yeah. Every morning.
I took my bike to the shop and I ain't had a chance to ride it yet, you know.
Yeah, so I need to get me a bike too.
Yeah, I gotta get back on that bike. Yeah, get on that bike, and I ain't been to the gym in about a month and a half, something like that. You know, since I really started driving that truck, since the work started picking up.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
You know, but yeah. You have to stay on top of it, and like you said, the signs. You know what I'm saying? you get the signs. And I found that, I was watching some stuff on YouTube last night about electric life. It's food that's, that the right food that gives your body electrolytes. You know what I'm saying? It's like electric food. Anyway, and he was saying that a lot of times the dizzy spells you get, and if you get like dizzy spells or feel like drained and stuff like that there, and he said a lot of that just come from a lack of water. You be dehydrated. And he said it really, the best water to drink now is back to what we used to thought that was, back in the day is 100% spring water, not the purified water. See, I always thought it was the purified water. But I mean, who knows?
Well, that's one thing, we are in a world where people are capitalizing on human deficiencies.
Right.
So they want us to believe you need to do this, you need to do that. And I had someone said to me about the bottled water, because I was saying I don't drink bottled water. And they said to me, well, Marietta, that bottled water that people are buying, it's sitting in the warehouse for years and years and years until it's distributed. And I said, wow, I said, that's really something. He said, yeah. So what's so great about bottled water when it's sitting in the warehouse for years and years and years to be dispersed? And I always say to people, I have yet to see a water company such as the bottled water. I have not seen any of them by a stream or by a lake or by an ocean where they could actually say they're pulling water in and purifying it and packaging it and then sending it out to us. That is not the way they're doing that. The same water that we got running in our houses, they taking it to that factory, they running it through that factory, through their system, and they filtering it and making us believe that this is the way to go.
Yeah, because the purified water actually is supposed to be ran through a reverse osmosis.
Yes.
Now, I know from the water thing we used to do back in the day. Okay?
Right.
And that is supposed to, really purify the water. You know what I'm saying? The reverse osmosis is a machine they use to purify blood. But who's to say, okay?
Right, but I'm just saying, just the idea of
we're
drinking bottled water because we
think it's better. Because some of it ain't nothing but tap water anyway.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's the water that has been ran in through the system.
I got you.
Slipped into the bottles, labeled, sealed up.
I got you.
It's trickery.
Because there's no regulations on it.
Right.
You do know that there's no regulation on the bottled water industry.
And if you think about how many companies are bottling water and how many varieties are on the shelf.
Because that's like I just said, because there's no regulations on it. That's why.
Right.
They have no regulations on it, none.
But my point is that, yes, there are no regulations, but there are people in the world that will not drink anything but bottled water.
Right. That's because they think they know.
Exactly. Right.
That's what I just remember. I always tell you, thinking something and knowing something is two different things.
Exactly. Right.
That's all.
Mm-hmm. So Ron says, y'all looking good. Thank you. How you doing? Denise says, they say sugar is an additive like Coke.
Yeah. I told you go through withdrawals. Go through withdrawals.
Oh yeah, I used to be in love with Mountain Dew years ago.
Yeah, I mean that's just like when you go to the joint. A lot of times, you know what I'm saying, hopefully you there, people, when you get there, or get down to the county, before you even get there, you hopefully some people down there, and because when you're going through the withdrawals, that's what they, do. Come on, man, we got some candy bars and stuff for you, man, because the sweetness helps to fight the withdrawals from cocaine or heroin. You understand what I'm saying? That's how powerful sugar is.
See, yes, it
That's
is.
what I'm saying. We're going through a withdrawal from cocaine or heroin. But you know, your rappies being there, because they done been through, because they've been in there a little longer than you have, so they done went through the process already.
Yeah.
So they got candy bars and everything for when the next brothers come through. Hey man, here you go, man. You gonna need these. We already know. You dig what I'm saying? Because they was on the street with you. We was all doing the same thing. They know what you getting ready to go through. They know you getting ready to go through the hot, cold flashes. They know that. They know you're going to be sitting on the table when we do get a chance to come out for 4 hours with a blanket around you. You understand? But it's already ice cold in the joint. So they keep it cold to keep the germs down.
Yes, right.
Okay. But here it is, you got a blanket on. You know, okay.
Right. And you know what? And that's the thing, that pop is definitely put your weight on you.
Yeah.
Pop, beer, alcohol, all of that. Those are called empty calories.
A lot of sugar.
And that's putting stuff in your body that your body doesn't need, so it automatically stores it because it doesn't recognize it. And people don't understand the method to that madness is that, you know, what our body doesn't recognize as being good and wholesome, it puts it on the back burner because it doesn't know what to do with it. And that's how we gain our weight, because we're putting things in our body that our body is saying,
don't go nowhere. It just stays there.
What is that for?
Yeah, just
we better tuck that away because we don't need that. Let's work with what we do need. And that's something that we're not conscious of that. So Denise says, Miss Denise, I like that. Plastic bottles that water comes in, it has a toxic in it.
Yeah, they talked about that too.
Yeah. Denise, so in other words, we're being bamboozled and hoodwinked. That's your word. Hoodwinked. Laugh out loud. That's your word. You and Mike. Yeah. Oh, Drea. Oh my God. I'm 90 days in with no sugar, gluten, dairy, or processed food. My health is improved 100%, including my blood pressure. All right. I'm getting ready to join the bandwagon with you. Starting tomorrow. Okay, Miss Denise says, Aspero, that's
that's for Drea.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna join you tomorrow. Thank you. It's hard, but thank you. It's hard, but do able if you really want a lifestyle change. I'm on my way to a 35-pound loss as well. Praise you. I am going to join you tomorrow. No sugar in my coffee. Woo! Brutal. Congratulations, Drea, Mike says. Yeah, I'm about to join the bandwagon too.
That ain't, y'all don't be drinking coffee no way. That ain't coffee.
Well, look here.
Put all that stuff in there. It's not coffee anymore. It ain't nothing but sugar water.
Well, Drea just inspired me, and I'm going to go right along with the program.
Now, I'm just saying, I'm just saying about the coffee, because I've always been just a straight black. You know what I'm saying?
Let's make a little sacrifice.
Straight black and strong.
Okay, let's make a little sacrifice.
That's all. Yeah, that's all.
I'm willing to do that. And we'll compare notes the next time I see you, Drea. That's beautiful. You have inspired.
Yeah, because we need to let everybody know. Second week of
June.
Okay, well, say it.
Okay.
You're the secretary.
Well, honey, you brought it up. I thought you were going to say it.
No,
okay, the second week. So the second Tuesday in June, we're going to have a meeting. But you didn't specifically give me time yet.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, everyone. No coffee allowed. Okay, I like that.
Okay, but remember we said we was going to get in touch with everybody so we see what the best time would be.
Right.
Remember?
Right. Okay, so I'm going to need phone numbers.
Okay.
Okay. Only herbal tea. I'm right with you, Drea. Because I done got tired of Maxwell House coffee. It's starting not to taste as good. Herbal tea, water, and coconut water. Okay.
Maxwell House.
Yeah. Well, and because I went to the store and they didn't have the Folgers that I wanted, and Maxwell House was like $7.99, and Folgers was $15. So I just said, you know what, it doesn't really matter. Okay, Ron says I'm getting ready to eat a candy bar. Oh God, what kind? I hope it's Reese's Sticks or a Snickers or a chocolate payday. Yeah, that's nice. So, but yeah, I'm following Drea tomorrow. I'm gonna give up that sugar. I'm gonna do a 30 days and no sugar. Absolutely. I'm gonna like that. Oh yeah, because I'm gonna be inspired. I'm gonna be inspired. I like a little bit of the competitive edge. We're in this thing together. Let's do it. Right. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, and that's what it's all about, you know.
Yeah.
We need to feed off of each other and say, hey, if she can do it, I can do it. That's my whole thing that I'm always saying about, you know, the Black women, is that we need to learn how to join the bandwagon instead of turning our nose up at different things that happen in our lives. You know, we need to get on board with each other. We need to lift each other. We need to come on and say, let's do this together. Why not? Right, because numbers, my sisters say numbers is power. Oh yeah. Yeah, this has been great. Oh yeah, this has definitely been really a good night in reference to people tuning in tonight and sharing their experiences and what they're going through and what they're doing to take care of themselves. That's what I'm talking about. We got to do that. All right, Ron says, I just finished 2 Big Smacks. Now dessert. What are Big Smacks?
Must have been Big Macs. Probably Big Macs.
Oh, okay.
2 Big Macs, probably. You know what I'm saying?
Dessert. He says, and now dessert.
Right. But I'm just saying, he says 2 Big Macs. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? He probably,
so McDonald's.
Right. 2 Big Macs. That's what he's saying.
Okay.
You know how that spelling can go sometimes when you're trying to type stuff out.
Okay. Yeah, right.
Okay. All right.
My girlfriend loves Big Macs. She would kill for a Big Mac. Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, baby. We've been on here for an hour and a half.
We just get started. We just get started here. This has been nice. Thank you, Miss D, for sharing what you're doing. Okay, Big Macs. McDonald's. Okay. Yes, I'm glad she tuned in, Drea. I'm going on the journey with you ladies. I am going to go on the journey with you ladies. I'm definitely inspired and I'm motivated. I'm going to get up in the morning. I'm going to walk. You guys have inspired me to get back on my job. Get back on my job because the weather is nice enough to be on my job. There's no reason why I'm not on my job. So sometimes, you know, we can get a little message, a little bit of an undertoning situation to say, hey, you need to do your thing now too now. Get busy. It's time. Oh yeah, because I typically walk all summer up until December, if the weather permits. Oh yeah, daily.
Right, well, I'm gonna give you a full screen and you can do your close out. Okay, and I'm gonna mute.
Okay, this was a perfect night. I definitely appreciate you guys out there that tuned in and shared your experience and, you know, your journey as to where you're headed. And I actually feel like you ladies are very proud of what you're doing. And that makes a difference because I'm very proud of what you're doing. And it's going to definitely inspire me to get back on my job. I need to be back on my job. And this is the forces out there talking to me as well. You got to get on your job, Marietta. And I'm going to do that. And for all of those out there that tuned in tonight and didn't have anything to say, that's okay. It's okay. Just as long as you thumb up that video, because that's going to help Raheem's channel to move along. And like I said the other night, we definitely need support from our ladies and our gentlemen out there in the audience. And I'm hoping that whatever we're giving you, you are at least letting it process and saying, oh, that made a lot of sense. I like that. So let's do this. Okay, Drea has another comment. You have to watch what you put in your mouth and what you say out of your mouth for success. Amen. Well said. Well said. I feel you, Drea. I'm with you. I am with you, Drea. And do you notice that I'm still wearing your bracelet you gave me? I have not taken it off since you gave it to me. So I just hope you've been noticing that. Yes, it goes with everything. Okay, you guys. So thank you, Brenda. Appreciate you tuning in tonight. Mike, definitely thank you for tuning in tonight. Ron, appreciate you for tuning in tonight. And Miss D, thank you for tuning in. I definitely appreciate you. Raheem said that you were an amazing woman. You're on top of your job. You know, he said you were a very big researcher, and he said you
need her on the team.
Yeah,
we need her on the team.
You're on point, and he wants you to join the team. So I'm hoping that you will. I'm looking forward to that because we need good people. We need like minds, and he was very impressed with you. So by him being impressed with you, I'm impressed as well. So I look forward to at least meeting you and sitting down talking with you as well. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mike, for coming out here and speaking with us a little bit tonight. Thank you very much, and everybody else in the audience. May you guys have a great evening.
So what about me? I don't get a thanks.
Oh, dear God.
I didn't get that. Everybody got a thank but me.
Ooh, baby, you must forgive me.
Okay. That's okay, though. I'm used to it. Go ahead.
Now, listen. I'm always telling the people about supporting your channel.
Okay.
So that's a thank you. But yes, you got a real thank you from me for taking the time to giving me the opportunity. And for you, my sister says, great program. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to be a part of your channel and a part of the For Real team.
Right.
So you're appreciated. Thank you.
All right.
What about that haircut? There you go. You look handsome as ever. Very nice.
Okay, well, this is the Few, the Proud of For Real TV. Right black at you, right black at you. And there you go.
Okay, she says, thank you guys for kind words. I really like to be on the team. Yes, I want you on the team. Yes, I do.
There you go.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, D-Nice, Miss D-Nice. I like that. Thank you.
So, for anyone who might see this later on, if you would like to subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Tap that little bell. Hit the subscribe button. Tap that little bell. Of course, hit that thumbs up. I need everybody to hit that thumbs up. Everybody, thumb up the video. Thumb up the video. Thumb up the video. Thumb up the video.
Tonight says good show. Thank you.
Good show.
Thank you for being there for us.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you.
Because we need everyone.
Exactly.
We need everyone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I had got this channel just to make my people think. Just to think on your own.
Right.
You understand? I figure if I put enough stuff out there for you on your mind that you would just do, you would think on your own.
Right.
And then you'll start doing research on your own instead of just believing something.
Right.
No. It's better to know than to believe. See, I don't believe I'm talking to you. I know I'm talking to you. You understand me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Peace and black power. Great program tonight.
Thank
I
you.
want to thank everybody for tuning in.
Yes.
And everybody have a great evening.
Okay.
All right. Peace and black power. I'm out
Okay.
of here.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.